to all the Geminis out there. Hello and welcome to this general horoscope for the month of December 2012 for you Geminis. What is going on during the month of December? Well, for all the mutable signs, so Virgos, Pisceans, Sagittarius, and of course you Gemini, it's an enormously exciting month and an enormously good month. A bit challenging but very enlightening during the end of the month. Now, why is that? I'm also going to talk a bit about Christmas and New Year's Eve. Even when you're not celebrating that, it could be a bit interesting, the information that I'm going to give around these days. But let's get started with what is going on for these mutable signs, and especially for you Geminis. Well, I've been talking about it for quite some time. I think that Neptune every now and then squares up to some planets, some personal planets, and that has got that is very important for you Geminis, because Neptune is squaring up to Gemini. So Neptune is the planet of the divine. It's the planet of inspiration. It's the planet of connection with all there is. What's the flip side? The flip side is confusion. So in other words, during the month around the 11th, it starts around the 11th until the 20th, there's going to be a little bit of confusion time. But there is a reason for that, because after that there is clearness. And I know that you Geminis, you funny Geminis, I say funny because Gemini is really related to having fun, and really related to humor, sense of humor and wickedness. And now your ruler Mercury and Venus is going to square up with Neptune as well. So that's why it's a bit of interesting, challenging time for the Geminis. Now, I'm going to break down this a little bit. So during these months, it's an opportunity to understand more about yourself, basically. That's just the most important clue there is. Because sometimes we do wonder, why is there confusion in our lives? Why is that good, having confusion? A lot of people really don't, and certainly I don't always understand why is it confusion time. But mostly because we don't understand something. And the good thing is that around the 20th till the end of the month, you're going to understand more of it. Now this, your ruler Mercury is in Sagittarius for the most of the month, and also Venus. So this is your other 7th house, the house of other people. So there's going to be a lot of communication with other people. Also, I hope diplomacy with other people, and there is certainly an opportunity for balance with other people. Now the thing is, with this Neptune square going on in your 10th house, there can be confusion towards other people or work, or actually both. And I think it has to do with your life path in many ways. So where you're going at. So if you're feeling around the 11th and the 20th a bit, a little bit lost, it's normal, and it has its reason just to know where you're going at from very deep down inside, because you've got Jupiter in your sign. Jupiter is the planet of understanding, and is the planet of the bigger picture, and that planet is for a long time, until next year around June. It's in your sign, so take advantage of the possibility to understand yourself way more. And of course, a nice thing, if you understand yourself more, you're going to understand other people way better. So that's a nice side thing. But expect that around that time, that maybe things that are going on at work, because Neptune is in your 10th house, so maybe there is confusion around work. Maybe there are changes going on and you don't know where you are going, and You are also very focused on other people, could also be colleagues, it could also be your loved one, and there is, you know, maybe some communication errors going on, but nothing bad, just maybe misinterpretation, let's call it that way, that you just, that other people misinterpret you, or you just don't understand what they're all about. But again, this confusion time leads to enlightenment or a more understanding around the 20th of the month, because then that transit of Neptune is over, and then you actually have the time around Christmas. The 25th is going to be for Gemini. I think for a lot of Geminis, even people that are having hard times around this period because they have lost someone, or because they are alone, even then I think it's going to be a nourishing time, because the moon is in Gemini on that day around the 25th of December. So you're going to be able to nurture yourself, even if you don't have a family, because a lot of people don't have families. A lot of people really have to be on their own around those days, and you're going to be able to deal with that. I'm pretty sure of that. And if you have a family, and if you're surrounded by a family or friends, you're going to have a very lovely time, very nourishing around these days. Now, another important thing that is going on is the full moon. Normally for a Gemini, I'm not talking about full moons, but this one is important for everyone because it's at 7 degrees of Cancer. And that is important because it triggers the Pluto-Uranus square, because Pluto is in Capricorn around 7 degrees, Uranus is around that degrees in Aries, and it's all squaring up to Cancer with that full moon, and the Sun, of course, in also in Capricorn, conjuncting Pluto. So there is a lot of culmination for many people. That's in general, that's actually for all of us. Around the 28th of December and a couple of days after that is going to be quite emotional, but in a good way, in a way that things are going to progress, and things are going to get momentum around that period, because this when there is a full square in astrology, it really is challenging, but it also means, you know, getting on with things. So it's a lot of energy. And for you, Gemini, it's in your second house, and so that moon is in your second house. So it triggers your self-worth. It triggers worth of other people. It could be also a financial situation on another level, that some kind of culmination is there. Some kind of getting through is going on for you, for Geminis. But I think in general it has to do with self-confidence. It has to do with, related to that confusion that I talked about. So it could be the case that with that bigger understanding that you're getting, that you're going to find your self-esteem, and that is a pretty good thing, isn't it? So, I think that's basically it for the Geminis. Yes, Saturn, but that's long-term. Saturn is still in Scorpio. So I think for a lot of Geminis, they are really trying to structure their day-to-day routine. And it may be sometimes a bit dull, or maybe sometimes their day-to-day work can be a bit demanding, and we're not always getting the gratitude for it. But that's on the background for more than a year, so that's just something that is going on the background. And on the other hand, there is also Mars, which is playing a big role now in that house of the 8th house. So Mars is, for the most time of the month, it's in Capricorn. It's a good Mars, it's exalted there, it wants to work very hard. And for you, Gemini, it's in the 8th house, the house of, you know, it's an inner house, it's a water house, it's a house of you know, that self-worth that I was talking about, also the self-worth of other people. So expect a transformation and hard work that you're doing just to try to master your fears and to take big steps forward. So many stuff going on for Geminis, and a bit of this and a bit of that, but I think you Geminis, you like that, don't you? I think most Gemini do like a bit of this and a bit of that. So I wish you a Merry Christmas, and I wish you, if you're not celebrating that, I wish you a Happy New Year. And I wish you all the best, that all or a lot of wishes may come true. And I'll see you back next month. Bye-bye.